Madness Podcast, the best of the underground. Make madness your ritual.
Oh, hell yeah. What's going down? Holy shit, it's Friday. It's time to podcast. It has been far too long since I've done one of these things. I wanted to say thank you to the guys in Annihilation Process for dropping their CD with us at the Skyway the other weekend. They gave away a bunch of free CDs, Annihilation Process. If you did not get a chance to get one of those CDs, contact those guys over Facebook or however, streaming platforms or however the hell you want to do it. I got that version right there off of iTunes because I didn't get a free copy of that, and that's okay because I wanted to make sure that everybody else got one. The show was fantastic. Those guys put a great bill together. We did it in a fantastic club, and it went off without a hitch. Lots of people showed up. I wanted to say thank you to all of those people who supported the show, supported the bands, came there, bought some merch, hung out, had some drinks, bullshitted, stayed out of trouble, smoked lots of weed in the back. Jesus Christ, there was a fucking cloud in the back there. Thank you very much for coming. And I decided to just play these guys because I really enjoyed watching them, man. Mike from Lich King plays guitar in this band. Also, I believe the vocalist from this band plays in another band called Begravement, local death metal cats, all young dudes. Mike is a little older than the vocalist of this band, Annihilation Process, who is the guitar player of Begravement. I believe that's how that works. Don't quote me on that because I'm kind of a goofball. If you know me, you know. If you watch this podcast or know this podcast, you know that I'm a fucking goofball. So do me a favor, check out Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective. You know this holidays are coming up real soon. They are so good to me, so good to the NYDM, so good to the local people around town. I know so many people that have been tattooed there in the last couple years. Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective, 612-353-4755. If you have ideas, if you want to get a hold of them for some gift cards, if you want to pass the color on to your friends, if you just want to be a really solid husband or wife and buy your significant other a tattoo, Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective, give them guys a shout. lowbrowsaints@gmail.com if you got some ideas or you want to hit them up with questions. Shoot them an email, lowbrowsaints@gmail.com. If you want to give them a call, try to set up a schedule thing. I mean, you could do it both ways, either way. 612-353-4755. Good homie Jason over there. He has joined me on the Donkey Show here on Ritual Madness podcast. I want to thank you all for being fucking very patient with me. I know that I haven't been around much lately. Just in the last, I guess pretty much the whole fucking summer. I did a sporadic podcast. I think the last one I did was with Forge Master, Tracy and Tyler of Forge Master. We did a Zoom podcast. I think that was the last one. That was 270, I believe. This is 271. If you're going in chronological order, just me bullshitting with you. Hopefully you'll join me. If you want to comment anything, chat with me, go on YouTube. I know I'm posting it on Facebook right now, but go on YouTube. It's easier to chat that way. If you chat with me on Facebook, I don't see the comments till afterwards. You have to pay a subscription to be able to stream to multiple stream on Restream. So like I can stream on Facebook if they're not mad at me or Zucks has thrown me into the underneath the jailhouse. So to say, on Facebook. But YouTube is the best way if you want to chat with me. If you got questions, if you want to say what's up, if you just want to shoot me something silly, anything like that, run over to the fucking YouTube channel, Ritual Madness Podcast on YouTube, and chat me up. Say what's happening. Tell me a story. Do something like that. Make fun of somebody else who's making fun of me. Big shout out to Craig Rosen's beard. Always great to see him at work. Always great to see him jump on the podcast and say what's up to me. Big ups there, Beardo. I hope your hunting season's going well. Hope you got yourself some venison so far. I'm sure you already got a full freezer anyway, or you're working on scraps till you get the next one. But I don't think that you or your family has an issue with that. Here's my ugly face looking like a hobo here in the studio, hanging out. I came here straight from work because I didn't want to go home because it's the other side of town. So I came here straight from work. I am still in my work clothes. This week, dude, it's starting to get cold here in Minnesota. You know what I mean? Like it's not nothing new or anything like that. But it does sound funny. I mean, it's funny every year because it seems like everybody has to relearn how to drive once the snow starts to fly. And everybody since the beginning of COVID has been driving like fucking maniacs, 80 miles an hour everywhere they go, every which way and to and fro. Yes, farts for sure. That didn't go well. Oh Jesus, man, you're talking about the hunting experience. Oh, that's not good. So anyway, we started to get some snow this week. Well, pretty much all fucking week. It started Sunday night into Monday, and snowed every day except for today, and on and off yesterday. But today the temperatures dropped into the 20s, low 20s. So I think we're hitting teens tonight and Saturday, and then it jumps back up into the 30s. And I know anybody who's down south who's watching this is thinking that we're absolutely crazy for living north of the wall, if you watch Game of Thrones. But so, yeah, I've been super fucking busy this entire summer into the fall, doing all kinds of different shit. You know, when you podcast a lot with bands, for me, it is a situation where they're the main reason I'm doing this. I want to talk to the band. I want the band to throw out where they came from, what they've done, how they're getting where they're going, and all that good stuff. And maybe some stories, probably a lot more stories from me of the bands that I've been in or shenanigans I've been in. It's always story time with me. I'm always throwing and talking way too fucking much. But there comes a time, though, when you kind of run out of stories and you got to live and you got to kind of put down the mic and the podcast for a little bit to go out and fucking live your life and enjoy yourself for the rest of you know what I'm saying? So you can come back and tell more stories and cool shit that's happened to you while you were living your life instead of sitting behind a screen trying to go back and forth with people. So please tell us how you may be singing again in a band. You know what, man? That is kind of up in the air. I've been, well, you know, I'll be honest. This is kind of how it all went down. I say this a lot on the podcast about what happened with Lee's a few years back, and I put a lot of time into that in booking and setting up a cool place for everybody to come and hang out. And I think James and myself and everybody that was involved, Jordan Swanson with the sound and many bands, when that thing went down, it really threw me for a fucking loop. I think when you put yourself in 100% with multiple things and you stretch yourself out, when one domino falls, a lot of times multiple dominoes fall, and then you get into the whole COVID thing. Outside the Murder was ready to record an album, or at least half to 3/4 done with an album, and we were supposed to go record that stuff. When that stuff happened with Lee's, it just took the wind out of my sails, man, and I just there was a lot of frustration from everybody because we would go in and have a very productive month, and then something would happen. Someone would get hurt. They would need a surgery. They would work. We'd be working overtime and doing all of the shit. So it really kind of took the whole live aspect and recording and creating music. So what happens in a scenario for those of you that don't play in bands is that you get together with a bunch of guys, and maybe the ideas flow really, really quickly. And I'm telling this story, a really long story, to make something a short explanation, a long explanation for a short story, I guess, something like that. Anyway, you get together, and sometimes the ideas flow really fast, and you create a good album, or what you think is a good album, and maybe your friends think it's all good. But anyway, you create this album, and then you drop it. And then you jump on this, let's play fucking shows, let's get out of town, let's have fun, let's do all this stuff. And it becomes a cycle where sometimes if you're not paying attention, you just stop creating, right? So you create a group of songs, you play and you play and you play and you do all these things and you get good offers. And right when you start to break to go back into the writing process, maybe a guy like Bobby or Joe Spanbauer, or somebody who is booking Natalie Quirk, anyone, Alex Gorgos, anybody, and they offer you a show. So now you jump on this thing where you're in the middle of recording or middle of writing. You have a couple songs, maybe some ideas. If you don't have them down or recorded, they kind of go to the wasteland for a little bit, and then you play a slew of shows and you come back, and it's hard to catch that writing process again. That was my problem with Outside the Murder. There was so much going on all the time with myself, with the podcast, with booking shows, everything. It was just absolute chaos. So, do I love playing music? I absolutely love playing music. I absolutely do. I fucking miss it a ton. What I don't miss is the ups and downs of it. where you fall in and out of that cycle. I was never able to break and just say, fuck it, we're going to write, and there's no more shows where, you know, I would book a lot of the shows myself. So it was tough. Now, with all of this time between the end of Outside the Murder and right now, to make this story really fucking long, Craig, is that I've had lots of opportunities to go jam with people and have been asked to do collaborations, cameos on things, and with great people. I don't think I've ever had a problem. I've always been approached by really talented people, and I've just kind of, without seeming like a fucking whiny bitch, I feel like I didn't put enough time into it and enough effort into it, and had so many other things going on. So actually, right now, I don't have any plans to jump into any bands. There's a couple people that I would like to jam with again. There's a couple people that I would like to write with again. It's a process, and there are so many bands out there right now that are using other members for other pieces of their band. And that makes it even harder because there's not a ton of bass players and drummers, not a lot of rhythm section cats, and the good ones are taken right now. I'm not saying the good ones, but you know, they're not jamming with anybody right now. And so it just feels like, you know, if the right thing came along, and if I was approached about something and they seem very sincere about, you know, I'll say this, I did try out for a band not that long ago, and Jordan Swanson was playing bass in it, and I really was looking forward to it. The thing is that when I join a band, I want to be able to give it my kind of taste to it too, and my kind of feel. And when you write a group of songs, you're stuck in, especially, you know, musicians are very stuck in their things. So if a vocalist tries out for a band and comes in and tries to, you know, change things up without giving the full okay on it, it makes it feel like you're fighting. You're walking into a situation where creativity is smashed into these parameters, and I don't like that situation. And I just really want to, you know, if it's the right situation, Craig, to be honest with you, I would love to. I would love to jam. I would love to jam with some folks. It would have to be the right scenario. I know there's a guitar player out there, Kevin Babs, that played in a band called Expire and Opaque, and he jammed with the original drummer of Outside the Murder in Opaque. So he's a dude that I really enjoy his playing. Very solid guitar player, real quiet, soft-spoken dude, but he's just a monster on guitar. That was a guy that I really wanted to jam with. Then Neil Pruitt, bass player. Also, you know, the Gooch is never too far out of my thought process, because I love being on stage with the Gooch. But he lives in Alexandria, and you know, just commitments on either side, it's real difficult. So I would really love to play again. It would have to be the right situation. It would have to be the best scenario for me. Wow, you got me on a full tangent. I just went full sideways on that shit. Thanks, Craig, for getting me going. Those shirts ain't gonna tie-dye themselves. Yes, Ron, you're absolutely right. Those tie-dyes are not gonna dye themselves. Dude, you know what? I'm super stoked about what I've been creating lately, as far as tie-dyes. I had a really great opportunity to do the Crypticon this past summer or fall in September. And I thought, holy shit, I did over 100 designs. I just had a bunch of blank shirts, and I went fucking hog wild. I sold 6 shirts at the Crypticon. I sold more patches, which I didn't put enough time into. I sold more patches at the Crypticon than I did the tie-dyes, which really, really sucked. I sold more tie-dyes after the Crypticon because people were like, hey, dude, is that shirt still available? And that's fantastic. I'm super fucking lucky and super happy that, you know, people are enjoying them. I'm really enjoying the process. Like I try to do at least one a day. I missed out a couple days this week because it's just cold and I'm not feeling this shit. I'm getting old. So it's like, man, my hands and everything, so I've been trying to work out a little bit too. So I'm a little sore. And so I didn't do as much tie-dye as I wanted to this week. I did do a couple that turned out great. Bill Hansen from the Roar of the Underground, KFAI's Roar of the Underground, Thursday nights, by the way. Check that cat out. Super, super awesome, I guess you would say, podcaster DJ guy. I mean, he works at a radio station, so he's a DJ, but he sent me something, God, I want to say like a year ago. He's like, I really want you to tie-dye this. And I tied it up, I dyed it, and it didn't come out the way I wanted to. It looked really, really cool, but my initial vision of it didn't come out the right way. So I actually retied it and dyed it more so I could get it to look cool. I sent it to him. He really loved it, and I loved it. I thought the colors turned out fantastic. But this past week, he sent me another shirt, a Coffin Right shirt, and I don't know if you haven't had a chance to see it. I put it on Instagram, and I also put it on Facebook. Most of the people will know, have seen it. If you follow the podcast, you probably follow me on Facebook or we're friends, and they are super sick, man, like nothing I've ever seen. Hey, Ron, thank you so much for saying that. I'm honestly, I'm a couple years in now. I feel my wife and daughter give me a really, really hard time about this too. I feel like they're okay. Like the one behind me is probably the second or third tapestry that I had ever done. And it turned out good. I kept two of these. One I tried to sell at Crypticon, but this one and the blue, green, or the blue and purple and black one. The other one, the very first one, if you go back and look, you'll see it in the background. I fucking wanted to do it. I thought they were cool. I have a problem with, I'm a perfectionist kind of. I mean, you look at me and I'm a sloppy bitch, but when I get into something, I'm creative, I go full bore into it. And if it doesn't turn out the way I want, I'm kind of a spoiled baby when it comes to it. And I'll just continue to just keep trying to perfect it and perfect it and perfect it. I don't think that I've perfected anything that I've done because of the way that I'm doing and the way that I like to do it. There's a lot of like, you can set it all up to do something cool, but then once you start, and I always refer to it, and people, I've said this to people, and I feel like a fucking hippie, but I feel like the way I tie-dye, I put a lot of my energy and vibe into it when I do it. So it seems like some days they're really good. Some days they're not so good. My wife and daughter always give me shit because I've told them what other dye people in the groups that I'm in, the amazing tie-dye folks, guys that have been in, there was only one competition, and it's on YouTube. It's a tie-dye competition. I suggest if you like it, that type of shit, and love the art, go check it out. There's some amazing guys on there. Carl Borg is absolutely amazing, and he wins that I already won. I wasted it for you. Spoiler alert! Don't go watch it. I just told you who won. Anyway, I'm a perfectionist, so when I do it, they say you don't cry until it's dry, because the colors will all go in there and it'll look like a fucking black blob. But when you wash it out and then you wash it like a full cycle with, color safe bleach or whatever the fuck you wash with, there's so much more that comes out of it. Every picture that I take does no justice to the things that I've created, because you just can't see the marbling. You can't see the color displacement when there's like, you're trying to find something that's black, and the colors that they base it all off of all pop out. You'll see a yellow here and a red there and a blue here, and it's fucking awesome. With that Coffin Right shirt, that thing did some really, really cool stuff, and I was really like bumming out when I was washing it. And my wife goes, what do you always say? Don't cry until it's dry. And it's true, because it completely changes. The colors completely change when they dry out. So I've done some really cool stuff. I really like what I've been doing lately. That Coffin Right shirt was like other level for me. There was so much cool shit in that one. And, yeah, it was really cool. And I'm glad. I haven't sent it to Bill yet. I told Bill, I was like, dude, if this thing fit me, I'd be sending you money for it because it was pretty awesome. And it's the pictures that you've seen. It just it does no justice. You have to see Bill in person with that shirt on because it on the sides, like you can't it does no justice. Like I was able to take the grays on the top because there's coffins that go all the way down and they pop out because I put a light gray on the top and then I black stripped it in the middle going, up and down. It's fucking dope. It turned out really, really good. But yeah, if you guys are interested in doing some custom stuff, I will do some custom stuff. It's not going to be super cheap because my time is well worth it, and I think that I'm to the point where I'm getting fairly good at this now. And, I want to give you guys the best product that I can, and I want to do it the right way. So, I mean, if you guys got a band and you want me to do some shirts, I'll definitely do it. Like I said, it's not going to be dirt cheap. And hopefully we can meet in the middle where you guys are going to make money too. My own personal stuff is at Ritual Stitches on Facebook, or, you can reach out to me and I can do, custom color combinations, or, if you're looking to do, family gatherings, or what I mean, like you do tie-dye family photos or whatever, man. I'm totally down to work with people on things. I just got commissioned to do 6 Jamaican flags because a cat that I'm going to school or went to school with, his family's going to a wedding or something in Jamaica. So I just got commissioned to do that after I just dropped that Coffin Rights deal. So yeah, I'm down, man. Thank you very much for all the props for that stuff, man. I really appreciate that. Let me see here. Tell those two I'm gonna beat them up the next time I see them. Shh. I will definitely tell them that. They will probably. That's funny. Thank you very much. Yeah, click the like button, folks. Click the like button a lot. Go and subscribe to the YouTube too. Tell your friends about it. It only helps me out. I've been slowly working my way to 1,000 to try to be monetized on this shit. Dude, I had 60 fucking followers. I didn't even know it because I stopped doing YouTubes and was just doing the pre-recorded stuff at the old studio. So I've got so much stuff to get to because of all of the shit that I've done through this whole. I didn't document hardly any of it other than taking pictures, that I've released on Facebook. A ton of bands. I mean, too many to list right now because I just don't. I'm really ill prepared because I wanted to do a podcast because I hadn't done one in so fucking long, but I have some things that I wanted to talk about. So I wanted to first give a heartfelt condolences to all the guys in No Loving Place. This past year has been a really fucking bad deal for those guys. Their guitar player Eric passed away earlier this year, and just a couple weeks ago, their other guitar player Rick St. Germain passed away. Rick was a solid guy. My band Sublevel played with No Loving Place a bunch in Eau Claire and here in the Twin Cities, thanks to Jack Gilbert and the Quest for Mayhem shows. So big condolences to those guys. Also to the Philibrant family and the Twin Cities and Minneapolis metal scene, music scene. Mark Philibrant was a really good guy. I knew him a lot longer than I remembered because he was very unassuming dude. I know that back in the day he was a little bit more rambunctious than he was in later years because of an accident before that. So when I started to hang out with Mark a little bit recently in the last few years, he's a real soft-spoken dude. Always willing to help bands get their stuff on and off the. Dude, he was such a supporter of the music scene here. Mark Philibrant was killed coming back from a show. It was all over the news here in the Twin Cities, and everybody knows. Coming back from a gig, he had been sober, I believe, like 3 or 4 years or some shit like that, and got hit by a drunk driver, a young 31-year-old chick driving the wrong way down 94 in like Hudson area. And dude died in the crash, and it's fucking horrible, a horrible thing. And it hit me a lot harder than I thought it was gonna. You know, we were together like 2 weeks before that at Bobby Icon's house for a meeting, you know, for an NYDM meeting. You know, he was a hell of a prospect. He was a hell of a guy, real solid dude. Condolences to his family and everybody, you know, grieving Mark. It took me about 2 solid weeks, man, to like not feel like I wanted to break down and cry because of the whole Rick. Rick died the week before, you know, and I hadn't seen Rick in a good long while. And then in the following week, Mark passes away, and it was like fucking getting kicked in the nuts, you know, in 1-2 punch. So it was like, it hit me a lot harder than I thought. I think I was like rebounding from Rick and caught the whole Mark deal. And it was crazy, man. Yeah. Somebody just sent me something from that particular, I believe somebody sent me something from, I know Jared Dosser sent me some stuff on Facebook. I'm trying to look at it right now. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's got the whole fucking, the breakdown here of her bail and all this stuff. And there were friends of ours that were throwing me information throughout this whole thing. And this chick was like, last year around the same time, like almost to the day, this chick got into another accident and was on probation for like 3 years or some shit. So I don't know if she was off probation. I know that she was coming back from a wedding or some shit. But yeah, bad stuff. And I don't mean to make this a sad deal. And it sucks, man. You know, when anybody passes, it really sucks. There is a, I want to make sure that I show this here. There is a show for Mark right here. There we got it. December 9th at Club Underground. It's a memorial benefit show for Mark Philibrandt and his family. I know that they're going to be doing, you know, on this flyer, there's a QR code. I believe that brings you to, if you scan that, it'll bring you to the donation page for the family. I think they're trying to get like quite a bit of cash to cover his funeral costs and other things, I'm guessing. And yeah, it's a sad deal. But here's the show. Friday, December 9th. Doors are at 6 p.m. Music is at 7, 21 plus, $10 cash money up in this bitch. Defiled Sacrament. Those dudes, I am so proud of those cats, man. Last year, you know, earlier, I think it was earlier this year, as a matter of fact, Defiled Sacrament sat down with me and we talked and had like, we discussed a plan for these guys, man. And this summer, I mean, from the time that they left the studio on that point forward, those kids fucking did everything that they set themselves out to do. They opened up for Gorgatron. They played Slam Dakota. They did a ton of shows. And I got to see them, and they did a fantastic job. And, you know, hats off to those guys, man. Defiled Sacrament did a fantastic job. So Defiled Sacrament is opening the show. Yatuma, I think, is from Wisconsin, and they, I think, Gorified played with those guys not that long ago for one of the Loud Dan shows, or I think that Mark played a show with them, and then the Loud Dan show was the next day at the Burnsville, or what, fuck, I don't even remember where it was. I think it was Burnsville or something, some band shelter or something they did. But Yatoma played that show as well. Apothic, Natanic, fucking Tallgrass, Al, Apothic, that's their black metal band. Coffin Rights, like I said, I just tie-dyed a badass Coffin Rights shirt. And Bludgeon is going to be headlining that one, and Bludgeon is always fantastic to see. They got a new bass player, and the dude is phenomenal. Plays a fretless bass, and it's badass. So please go check that out. It's going to be a great show, man. We're going to have a blast. It is a benefit show. I'm sure there's going to be tons of words said. I know that his family is having something at the Eagle's Nest in honor of Mark this Sunday, which is the 20th, I believe, of November. Jesus, fuck, I'm all over the place. At the Eagle's Nest in Robbinsdale. I think it's like, I can't. You can look on my Facebook if you really want to know. I do believe I posted it. I don't have it. Hold on a fucking second. I'm gonna get my head out of my ass here real quick. Don't pay attention to me. I'm JoJo the Circus Boy over here. I haven't done a podcast in a while, so let me see here. I know I reposted this thing. Little Alex posted it, and it had the information for Mark Philibrantz's family. There it is. Family and friends, metalheads, come celebrate Mark Philibrantz's life. He was in glorified right across. Oh yeah, it's right across from Mark's apartment. They're going to be. Oh fuck! I'm all over the place. Like I said, I'm totally wrong. It's not this Sunday, you guys. I'm goofy. The Eagle's Nest Lounge, Broadway Pizza, 4106 Lakeland Avenue North, Robbinsdale, Minnesota. Saturday, December 3rd at 1 p.m. I'm a donkey. Open mic, microphone. Although they might not have enough time for 150 people to talk, so let people get their stories in. Please go. That was directly from his brother. The Eagle's Nest Lounge, Broadway Pizza. There's so many things going on for him, so I hope everybody takes notes on this. Saturday, December 3rd, at Broadway Pizza, Eagle's Nest Lounge. They're going to be doing something for Mark there. And this one here, December 9th, Club Underground Memorial Show for Mark Philibrant. The donation QR code is right there. Please, if you can, throw him a couple bucks. We'd appreciate it. Just as a community, man, Mark was a really, really good fucking guy. Deserves the world. He was taken way, way, way too soon. Good dude. Again, Defiled Sacrament, Yatuma, Apothic, Coffin Rites, Bludgeoned. Mark's memorial show. There's my fucking ugly face again. Be sure to send me the information. Thanks, man. God bless everybody. My heart goes out, goes and very close to people I know. We'll miss you, love him, miss and love him. We'll do what we can to support. I do a little shindig. Thanks, Crystal. I appreciate it so much. Mama Shank in the house. Thank you very much. Ron, thank you for joining us too. Looks like I've got 4 people watching. I appreciate you guys watching because I'm just doing this on the seat of my pants. So I want to go back like away. Chicago Domination Fest. I went with Glutton for Punishment over there to that festival. Miguel. Oh man, sorry, I'm fucking retarded. Miguel Goregrinder Medina. I'm fucking brain dead half the time. He puts the show on. It was a fantastic fest. I was meaning to take pictures of every single band and really, really wanted to, but we got there. We got to drinking, and it just snowballed into craziness. I woke up with a naked Irishman. If you were paying attention to any of the updates or any of the things through that whole deal, I think I did a little thing there for that. But yeah, man. That was a fantastic show. I wanted to kind of just throw that out there. I got to see Stabbing twice this year. They are a fantastic band from Texas, and they absolutely fucking killed here with Decrepit Birth. Big shout out to Natalie Quirk for getting me into like a ton of shows lately, allowing me to do some photography and promote all the people putting things together. Leo Presents and all her stuff with Midwest metal promotions and everything. But so Decrepit Birth, got to see Stabbing. I got to see him in Chicago. Got to hang out with my boys in Glutton. It was fantastic. We partied our asses off. There was nakedness. There was vomiting. There was illicit drug use, from what I've heard. I didn't partake in any. I did do lots of drinking though, so keep it PG, bitch. But yeah, so that Chicago Domination Fest, make sure you check out. I think it's the 8th annual this coming year in 2023. I believe Natalie's involved with that as well. And then I want to jump up to, I think I did Decrepit Birth there. That show. I did the Deicide show. By the way, Glenn Benton sounded the best that he had sounded in years, man. Deicide kicked ass. What I saw, I think I seen like 7 songs, maybe 6, 7 songs before I wanted to kill someone for fucking with my camera or smashing me underneath the armpit for a while. But yeah, so then I did that. I did the Goat Horse Show. Did I say that already? Probably did. Yeah, I've done a shit ton of photography this summer, and I absolutely love it. I really got the handle on my camera. I'm comfortable shooting in multiple scenarios. Editing, just having fun with the creative process behind photography. I've been loving it and loving it and loving it. I still have a ton of questions. I still have aspirations of being as good as some of these motherfuckers in town. There's some fantastic photographers in this town. And I love seeing their shots of the shows that if we're both at the same show. I love seeing their stuff and comparing it to mine. And it's so difficult being somewhat of an artistic person that to not compare your stuff to other people's stuff and just enjoy it for what it is. So it's been a growing process, man. And photography is super fun. I absolutely love it. I'm going to have to start charging people sometime because it's not paying any fucking bills. That's for sure right now. But doesn't mean that it can't. I take that back. I just did some engagement photos for a guy that I work with. It turned out pretty good. I didn't repost them. They posted them on the Shutter Ritual photography page. So they are up there, but it's not something that I do all the time because I just don't want to get into that. I love having a creative process of things, and I don't like engagement photos and wedding photos scare the living shit out of me because I know that I'm capable of creating cool stuff, but there is a level of don't fuck this up because it's important shit for people. And I know how women are very, very, families in general. I won't just pigeonhole women on this one, but families in general when it comes to photography and their keepsakes, their fucking, their engagement photos, their wedding photos, they're very important to people. Nobody wants shitty photos, you know what I mean? So they're intimidating to me. So being asked to do it, and people, the people that I worked with were like, dude, we really love what you did. We love what you did with your daughter's photos. And that was just enough for me to go, okay, cool. If you like what I do, I'm just going to do it the way I do it. And that's what it is. And I made some money off of that and it was really fucking great. And it was really cool. And concert photography is my favorite, but I have yet to really charge a lot of people for it. And I just love doing it so much, man. You know what I mean? So don't be a bitch and not pay your photographers, by the way. And thank you for all the support and all the likes and all the love on the photography pages and all my little videos and shit that I've done for the bands and the people that I've taken. I love doing those things. It is like you're adding animation to photography and having, hey, look, it's Jack and shit. How's it going, man? Good to see you on the deal, man. Thanks for joining us and shit. Joining the cats. Old school. Shout out to Jack Gilbert, my man. Goddamn, this dude was a beast on stage and a beast in the promotion for Quest for Mayhems. So big shout out, man. Big love for you are good enough. Thank you. Crystal says you are good enough. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let me see here. What other stuff have I done here? Slam Dakota. So Slam Dakota, there's multiple stories that kind of go off of this one. So Slam Dakota, I got to see the year before this one. So I've been there 2 years now. And last year's was so much fun that I wanted to make sure I made it back. Also, Slam Mama, Les Watkins is such a sweetheart and allowed me to suggest a few bands to get on that show, and they did fantastic. So big shout out to her. Big shout out to the Slam Dakota Fest. So I booked an Airbnb because one of some guys the year before, old bedroom eyes Robbie Ridner got an Airbnb with his buddy, and it was like a full furnished house, and I was like, oh hell yeah, this is dope. So I booked a small home, like a little bitty house, and it was really cool. I don't know if anybody watched the video of me like going through the house and showing it off and whatnot. It was really fun. So I was like, yeah, this is it, man. And me being an old burnout, fucking, dipshit. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Subliminal hippie. Yeah, no shit. Thank you very much, Jack. I appreciate that. So I thought that I booked this Airbnb for 2 nights. So Slam Dakota's 2 nights. I booked it for 1 night. And the first night, and I talked about this at Chicago at the Domination Fest with Glutton for Punishment. We got there and we hit the gas. There half of us were hitting the gas on the way there. So by the time we got to Chicago, I had missed a bunch of bands. I wanted to take a bunch of photos. I missed a bunch of bands. I was bummed out. I was kind of like, oh man, I didn't get there in enough time to get going real, because I wanted to like really document the whole experience. And we talked about this, like you can't go to a multiple day fest and hit the gas right away and just get super smashed and not expect to be hindered the next day with a hangover or needing a nap or not getting enough sleep the night before, or you feel energized because you're still drunk from the night before, and then you're hungover, and then you're tired as fuck, and then you end up trying to take a nap like I did in Chicago and go back to see Incinerate and fuck the whole thing up. I went there to take pictures of Stabbing, Glutton, and Incinerate, and I fucking missed Incinerate, and I was so pissed off at myself, but I was so hammered the first night, just like at Slam Dakota. I started hanging out with everybody, and I was just going to have a little bit of whiskey. Next thing, Joe Shaw shows up. We're drinking some peach whiskey, it was sweet. That's all I know it was. And the beer started flowing, and then I got to my little spot. I cooked a pizza, burnt the shit out of the pizza, ate like 2 handfuls of caramel corn, passed out, woke up, stumbled into the bedroom. Somehow in this whole mix of all of this going on, I remembered to take all my camera stuff out, plug it all in, take my sleep machine together, put it all together, put water in it. I passed out on the couch. I stumbled to the bed, and I wake up to somebody coming in the Airbnb. Like literally the door opens and it slams shut. And I'm there half naked, pissed drunk with my sleep machine on. And I just go, hello. And I'm looking around, and I got, I'm fucking out of it. And I get up. I gotta back up. So I did wake up off the couch the first time and looked down, and I saw my backpack with no camera in it. I ran outside. Oh, fuck. I got to back up even further. I'm sorry. Chicago Domination Fest. I go there. We have a couple drinks at dinner. I go to put my backpack with my camera on. I put my vest on, and I thought I put my camera back on, but I remembered for some odd reason taking my camera and putting it into Bobby Icon's car. I get in with the band. We get to the venue. I get out. I open the fucking hatchback of the vehicle, and my camera's gone. I am freaking the fuck out. Al Town jumps in the car with me. Now, every car that Rob Carlson owns is fast as fuck. So I get in this car. I barely tap the fucking gas, and it's like, skirt! And I fucking, Rob, what the fuck? He reaches in, pushes it off of supercharged mode. I go to the hotel room, and Al the whole time, I'm literally like almost crying. I'm like, I fucking lost my camera, dude. I can't believe I'm that stupid. I lost my camera. And Al's just looking at me. He's going, dude, your camera's in the fucking hotel room. I saw you take it off. It's in the hotel room. It's all good. And he's like patting me on the back and rubbing my head and rubbing my tummy, making sure I'm okay and shit. We get to the hotel. It's in there. I go back, freak the fuck out. Okay, back to the Slammy D story in the Airbnb. I wake up off the couch. I look down. I see the empty backpack. I'm in my boxer shorts. I run out. It is like sun's coming. I mean, it's light outside. I run outside, no shirt on, socks, boxer shorts, beeline to the car. Realize I backed the car up nice and perfect in the spot. I'm sad to say this, but I don't remember doing that. Mark, forgive me, man. I'm sorry, but yeah, I ran outside, ran back inside. This is how I realized that I put everything where they were supposed to be. I look over, my camera's perfectly charged, and my other, yeah, it's good stuff. So anyway, I wake up to this person coming in the Airbnb. I look out the window, and it's a lady with two little dogs, and she's doing like gardening, fixing the flowers up around this house. Came in because the owner of the Airbnb called her to make sure that somebody was in there and I wasn't dead. So she comes in, sees me half naked laying with no blanket on, sprawled out on this. I mean, you could see my man titties. She saw full on man titties, pepperonis and all, baby. She saw everything. And she shot out the door. So then I'm looking out the window, and she like looks up and sees me. You know, I'm standing there in my boxer shorts looking out the little slot in the window in the shades. She looks up and looks down real quick. Then I lay back down like, oh man, this is what the fuck? Why did this? And I didn't want to go talk to her because I wasn't dressed. I lay back down. My phone starts buzzing, and I pick it up, and it's the lady who owns the fucking Airbnb, and she goes, yeah, is this Greg? And I go, yeah. And she goes, you know, you're supposed to check out 2 hours ago. And I said, what? She goes, yeah, I've got people coming, and I need to get the cleaners in there to clean the place up. That's assuming you didn't make it, you know, didn't leave a big mess. And I'm like, what? No, I paid for 2 days. She goes, no, you paid for 1 day. And I go, that's impossible. There's no way. Can I get up and get my faculties together, and I'll get out of here as soon as I can, you know? So I hang up the phone, and I'm like, what the fuck? I look at my reservation, and it says I paid double. And so I call her back and I say, yeah, so it says I paid for 2 nights. And she goes, no, that's your service charges, your cleaning charges. And it was basically, they bend you over the fucking barrel and let you have it. If you don't pay attention to the fees that they charge you on there, they'll charge you a whole nother night. So it's basically, I paid for 1 night and got kicked out. Like I called her back and I go, hey, could you at least let me take a shower? And I mean, when I woke up the first time, I was staggering drunk still. So I was like, holy shit, I'm fucked up. So I go back and I pack all my shit. And I barely made a mess. I mean, after cleaning the pizza up, putting the fucking coffee table was like, okay, you know, you're sitting on the couch here. The coffee table was like fucking moved diagonal and shit. Yeah. Hey, man. Yeah, I'm damn lucky I didn't Farley that table. I very well could have Farleyed that table. Thanks for everybody who's watching. It looks like 11 folks are watching right now. I appreciate you watching and me being a shyster. But it's been a while since I did one of these things, so I wanted to jump on here and do a podcast. So you're right in the middle of it. Thanks. But so my first night at Slammy D was fucking badass. Slam Dakota is a fantastic festival. Always fun, great vendors. They had glass blowers there this year. They had a lot of really cool bands. Pretty good food, good beer. Yeah, great company, man. Lots of cool people there. It was a party. The year before was even a party. And it's like, I met people in Chicago that were at this show in South Dakota. And it was like we knew each other for years. It was hilarious because it was like, hey man, how's it going? You know, how you have fun at the last show? It was really cool. I met a really cool photographer, and her husband was, his band played outside, and he was doing sound outside. Her name's Emily. Shout out to her. She was fantastic. I helped her with some stuff. She helped me. It was a all around great scenario other than the Airbnb. I woke up, I had tacos. I went to the second day hungover as fuck. I hung out. I tried to be as normal as possible. And then I actually had really good friends fucking contact me and go, dude, you can totally crash with us if you want to. And with a sleep machine, you got to have a certain level. And I'm a fat fuck. I can't sleep on a hard floor like that. As old as I am now, I'd be shaking that off like a month down the road. So I was like, fuck this, I'm going home. So I was like 3/4 of the way through the second day, and I jumped in my car and I drove all the way back to Minneapolis, to Maple Grove that day. I said, fuck it, man. I got to get out of there. But again, Chicago Domination Fest, Slam Dakota Fest, fantastic fucking shows. Had a blast. Let me see here. Let me see here. We talked about, I wanted to talk about this show too. Let me pull this one up. So this is something that we do every year. What does that look like? It says 9th Annual NYDM Toys for Tots, Saturday, November 26th. It is next weekend. We've got Nevins. Mommy Says No. Volsuna Saga. Tomorrow Brings New Blood, and End Datura Dread. I have never heard that band, but that is an intriguing name. And if you look at that fucking flyer, it looks like a pile of sticks. So you know it's going to be black metal or fucking just evil in somehow, some way. Club Underground, Saturday, November 26th. $10 cover or $5 with a toy. Do like I do every year. I go get about $50 worth of toys, and I just go up there and I pay double the cover, because I know that it's going, the club is going to go and buy that many more toys, and they're going to donate all of those toys to the kids, Toys for Tots. We've done it 9 years running, and I would love for this to be a really, really big one. It's going to be fucking awesome. It's always fun. Everybody shows up in good spirits. I mean, we usually have a Santa Claus running around and an elf. Club Underground, $10, $5 with a toy, 21 plus show. Doors are at 6, music is at 7. Again, that's the Nevins, Mommy Says No, Volsunga Saga, Tomorrow Brings New Blood, and Datura Dread. And like I said, I've never heard that band, and that fucking name is definitely, and the pile of sticks, it's very intriguing. I'm excited to check it out. Big shout out to Chris Stark for doing these every single year. For 9 fucking years. It's an undertaking, and Chris is the guy to do it. Much love to my brother Chris Stark, you ginger bastard. Back to my ugly face. Thanks for tolerating me. Thanks for joining me. 12 people on the line. Thank you, folks, for joining me. I'm going to say this again. If you want to chat with me, if you're on Facebook right now and you're watching the live stream on Facebook, do me a favor and jump over to the YouTube thread. Or do the YouTube thread, because you can actually chat with everybody in the thread here, and I can respond to you. And if you want to chat to me, or say tell me something good. Tell me something good. Tell me that. Okay. Anyway, I'll get away from that. You don't want to hear me fucking swallowing this mic over here. We did the Dreams Aside CD release show. Got to have Dreams Aside, Mirror of Being, Beast Face, and Visceral Reaction open that show. Dude, those young kids are very, very talented. They're in the studio right now at 1459 recording their debut album. My friend Bucky, his son Jack plays in that band. Visceral Reaction. Check those kids out, man. I think if they stick with it and they work through all the bullshit that happens with bands, booking, having issues, just fucking being a solid unit with 4 or 5 other guys. If you guys stick with it, you're going to be fucking leaps and bounds ahead of a lot of these bands that are around here right now, man. I remember being your age and playing shows. God damn, that seems so long ago. But those kids are very talented kids. Visceral Reaction, big love to those guys. Beastface, one of my favorite local bands here in the Twin Cities, man. They released some stuff not really that long ago, but they are just a great band. Always so much fun to see live. They did a fucking Deftones cover, and it was badass. I also put that online. It's on there somewhere. I believe on the YouTube. I did that. Mirror Being, I apologize to you guys because I did all of the photos from that show except for you guys. Their guitar player, Mark, hit me up this week. I apologize. I've been super busy with tons of shit and trying to stay up on my tie-dye stuff and everything, and I apologize. Sometimes I get into the editing process and I just go full bore on it, and I get a bunch of them done. I have every band that I photographed at Slam Dakota. I have multiple bands from Chicago Domination Fest. I have a bunch of those bands I haven't edited yet. I've got just a ton of different shit. Plus the Annihilation Process show, which was last weekend. I think it was last weekend, the weekend before. So I have all those photos as well that I haven't even touched yet. I haven't even pulled them off my camera yet. So, yeah, my apologies, Mark, and the guys from Mirror Being. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. They did a fantastic job at the Dreams Aside show. Dreams Aside, guys, you guys fucking kicked ass on your CD release. I love that band. They're not that quintessential shit you would think that I would listen to all the time. You know what I mean? Like, everybody thinks I'm just like full on metal, and I'm not. And Dreams Aside is one of those bands that they're like a sweet tooth thing for me. They're heavy, they're melodic, they're engaging. You know what I'm saying? Like they're solid dudes, good guys. So yeah, they did a great job at their CD release party. I did go back to South Dakota a few weekends before that, which brings me to another fantastic Airbnb story. This one is fucking bizarre. So the Acid Bath tribute show at Biggs in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. They did it, I think, once before. The Dead Next Door is Buddha Renfro's band. He is a scenester in Sioux Falls, comes to shows here, all over the music scenes, back and forth online as well. I see him all over the place. He did a Acid Bath tribute thing for his birthday. I think it was 2017. But I love you too, Big Papa. You big silverback, you. I love you, brother. Thanks for coming and checking in. Thank you, all 12 of you people, for checking in. Fly by the seat of my pants type of shit. I was just wanting to do one of these really bad, so I figured I'd jump on and do it. Where was I? Okay, so it's 2017. They did an Acid Bath tribute show, and I really wanted to go. I didn't end up going. A bunch of people that I know went and said it was really, really phenomenal. I looked online and saw their a couple songs from that performance and was like really stoked to go out there and see. Well, when I was at Slam Dakota, Buddha reached over and he goes, "Hey man, you just wait, Crystal." So he said, "Hey man, we're going to be doing that tribute shit again. You should come out. It's my birthday again. We've got two bands. One's going to play the first Acid Bath album, and the other one's going to play the second Acid Bath album." And I was like, holy fuck. And he goes, "Hey man, I just wanted to tell you, I've got tickets reserved for a special couple people from the actual band Acid Bath." And he said Sammy, and then I thought he said Mikey was going to come out. So Mikey Sanchez and Sammy Duet were going to be coming out to do some songs with their bands. And I was like, no fucking way. Well, then he didn't announce it for a really long time, and I didn't hear shit about it. Well, my boy Nate Tannick is, you know, he was hanging out with Sammy, has bought guitar straps from him, guitars from him. I mean, they're buddies, right? So he contacts me and he goes, "Yep, I'm here to confirm. Just talk to Sammy. He's coming into town a day early to do a video shoot. He's playing my guitar. My buddy Bedroomized Robbie Ridner, he borrowed Sammy one of his guitars because he's only supposed to play he's endorsed by a certain guitar company, but he didn't want to fly with his guitars without the whole band. You know what I mean? Like touring, they fucking drive around. They don't fly their shit. And throwers from the fucking air, for the shit. Lame. So these guys, he shows up and he says, yeah, it's not Mikey, it's Jimmy. Jimmy Kyle from Acid Bath, the drummer, and Sammy are actually going to be making an appearance and playing with these two bands. They had like 3 or 4 bands opening for this whole thing, but I didn't. When I looked at the flyer, man, I was so excited to see Acid Bath bands. I did not even notice there were bands opening this fucking show, and I feel horrible about that. But I did get to catch one of the opening bands, and they were pretty solid, man. Good metal. I had heard something horrible about the drummer from Acid Bath, that he had fell on hard times, that he was looking pretty rough, and it was such a bummer for me to hear that. Because I was really looking forward to seeing. I mean, it's the closest thing that me personally, I would ever get. The closest that I would ever get to seeing Acid Bath live is with 2 members playing the Acid Bath shit, right? So, I went down to New Orleans to see Dax, to meet Dax. I played with Sammy up here, so I'd already had the experience of meeting the guys and me playing with Goat Horror a couple times, and then Dax coming up here and playing with Dead Boy and the Elephant Man. I got to see him down there. I got to see him in Lafayette. I got to see him in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and basically me and my old friend talked him into coming up here, with the Dead Boy stuff. And anyway, when I heard that Jimmy Kyle was going to be at the show, but he wasn't able to play, I was like, fuck, man. He was rough. He looked rough. I didn't even want to run up and talk to him because I felt bad. And I'm kind of one of them dudes that when I'm kind of like, you can tell. I'm kind of, yeah, I don't want to. And I don't like tweakers. I don't like people who are all fucked up, man. And it's not, I worship the dude. His drumming on them albums, bar none. He's probably a sweetheart of a dude, but I just couldn't bring myself to hang with him or run into him. I saw so many people taking pictures with the guy. I just felt bad for him. I was like, nah, man, I don't want to be around the guy. I felt bad, but we did go over there. We did see, Like Murder, which was kind of weird because they played the second album first, and then, Dead Next Door played the first album second. And let me tell you what, man, if you have not had a chance to check out the band Like Murder, they do that Pagan Terrorism Tactics front to back. That fucking vocalist knocked it out of the park. That whole band played so amazing, man. It was as close as I could possibly have come. And then Sammy came up and he played 3 songs with those guys. And I already knew that he was playing 3 songs with each band, but I didn't know what songs. Nate Tannick wouldn't tell me what songs. He kept it. And I thank him for that because, dude, it was such a fucking awesome scenario to see Sammy come up there and be so thankful. And him and Jimmy were ear to ear smiles, man. It was, they had so much fun. By the second band, Sammy was fucking having a blast. He's like looking at the other guitar player, like, hitting him on the shoulder going, yeah, like totally razzing him up. But you could tell the dude was like, it's fucking Sammy, man. He's fucking watching me play shit. You know what I mean? Like you could tell they were definitely, holy shit, he's right there, But Like Murder was fantastic. And then the Dead Next Door came on and just blew the fucking roof off the place, man. That first album is balls to the wall all the way. And they did a great job. And here's the thing is I'm going to be turning 50 December, and I was going to have a birthday party on the 17th. I wasn't able to get the date, and then the date was given back to me, and I gave it back again because I don't know what the fuck I want to do. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to get one of those Acid Bath bands. I was going to pay them to come here and share it with my friends that didn't make it to the Acid Bath tribute band show. I wanted to bring one or both of those bands here for my birthday, for my 50th birthday. And neither one of them were able to make it up here because of traveling in the cold and the snow and shit. And they just didn't want to. And I really didn't come out off the top. I wanted them to say, well, hey, yeah, we need some sort of money to get out there. I wasn't about to go, hey, man, I'll pay you $1,000 to come out here and just do it, because I wouldn't have been able to do that. But I would have paid them to come out here it was well worth it. It was well worth it. They did a great job. Both of them, both of those bands killed both of those albums. They were fucking awesome. And so now I'm going to back up and I'm going to tell you the Airbnb nightmare story part 2. So I kept asking, I knew I was going to go. I asked my wife, is it okay if I go to South Dakota to see the Acid Bath bands? She's a fan of Dax Riggs. She's not a huge fan of Acid Bath. So she was like, yeah, go ahead, you know? And then it was like, I bought the tickets and I waited. I bought the tickets. They were super cheap. And then I was looking at Airbnbs. I was like, oh, I'm going to get a little house again. Hopefully that little house is available again because the house was awesome. The experience was awesome. It was expensive, but it was awesome. And it was a nice little spot, like blocks from the fucking venue. I mean, I could have staggered back there. And if I go to Slam Dakota next year, I'm Ubering from one end to the next. It was like fucking 5 minutes away. Not even. I could, like I said, I could have stumbled there. So anyway, I looked up Airbnbs. I didn't know, you know, what the fuck was up. Last minute, I just said to my wife, I go, you know what? Why don't you just come with me? Even if you don't want to hang out at the show, just come with me. We'll hang out, whatever. You know what I mean? And she's always like, oh, you're off living your single life. You know, that type of shit, giving me shit. She likes to give me shit. I give her shit. She gives me shit. She busted my balls. So she's like, so we go there, or, you know, I go, okay. She goes, are you going to book an Airbnb? So I found one. It was a 2-bedroom townhouse. Did not say, just said available 2-bedroom townhouse. All the pictures were really nice. The furnishing wasn't beat up. The furniture wasn't beat up. The everything looked clean. Everything looked immaculate in the pictures. And I contacted the guy. I got the place the week before. I contacted the guy and said, hey, how soon can I check in? If I leave early in the morning, I should make it there about 2:00. Can I check in about an hour early? I would have checked in, got something to eat, enjoyed a few drinks, got to the show without driving there. No big deal, right? So the day before we leave or the day that we left, my homeboy Jordan and his girl showed interest in going, but they were tight on funds and they're about to do some, I think his gal's going back down to Texas for something to help her mom. There was like something that they just didn't have the funds to go. And I was like, you know what? We booked an Airbnb. It's got 2 rooms. Why don't you guys just come with? It's like $10 a fucking ticket. You know, just come on, come hang out. So I contacted the guy before we left and said, if we were to add another couple into the Airbnb, and the first Airbnb, I asked the lady, I said, hey, if one of my buddies needed a place to stay, could he crash on the couch? She was like, you can have anybody crash anywhere you want. We don't really care how many people are there. We're not going to charge you anymore. It's just, we're very open with it. So I said, cool. So I asked the guy, hey, how much he charged to throw another couple on there if they, you know, he asked me, what are you doing? It's fucking weird with Airbnb because some of these motherfuckers want to know exactly what you're doing. Like I sent one for a really nice one, Airbnb, and the guy like vetted me or some shit. Like he looked me up. I know he did and didn't get back to me at all. Like we'll let you know. And then didn't, you know, and I went to go check and they're like, this shit's rented, bitch, go away, you know? So I contacted the guy and I'm like, hey, you know, when can I check in early? Can I add somebody to it? The guy said, yeah, you can add. There's 2 rooms. I don't care. So I was like, I told Jordan and his gal, come on, let's do it. You know? So they're like, okay, let's check our finances, see if we can get down there, whatever we got. We still got to eat and drink and whatever. So they were like, yeah, we'll go. Totally. We'll go. We'll come over. We'll jump in the car. Boom. So they shot over the day of the show. They jumped in. We drove down there. We drove all the way to fucking Sioux Falls. We get there. And I contact the guy and he says, I'm actually at the property. You're more than welcome to come in whenever you want. Just come in. The door's unlocked. I'm here. So we pull into town and it's a nice area. It's like brand new development, nice townhome. Everybody in the nice cars. There was nothing, raggedy about the place. We go in and the dude like looks down the fucking down the stairs. Hey man, I'm just throwing these sheets in for the other bed in the dryer. I was out of town for a week and proceeded to tell this story on the stairs, looking down at us, and we're all kind of like looking at each other like, what the fuck is this dude doing? And I'm going, yeah, he wasn't supposed to be here. We were just gonna come here and this would be our place for the night, and that's it, you know. So then the guy's like, yeah, I'll be right down, whatever. So he's upstairs fucking around. Then he comes downstairs and he goes into this long story about what he was doing in Arkansas and his places, right? So he sold some car. He found some. It was the craziest story. He said, I make tables. No, he's not naked. He wasn't naked. Thank fucking God. But he comes down and he says, I make these really nice tables. And I need to find these maple trees or some sort. He said maple or ash, or he said some shit. I think he said maple. So he said, I need to find these trees to cut them down to make them into tables. So he said, I found this car in a barn and I bought the car from him. And he's like, and he's telling us the story about how he looks around on farms in South Dakota to find maple trees, and he'll look up who owns the property, how long they've owned it, da-da-da-da-da. Then he shows up at their place, knocks on the door, and asks them to cut down their maple trees because he's like, you know, farmers don't want trees. They want more open land, so they'll let me cut down. So he went through this whole fucking story. And this is like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. This guy just sat there and told us his story. I look over at Jordan and Marion, and they're both got their phones and they're looking, and they both go like, come on, dude, what are you doing? Right? So guy tells a story. He's like, all right, man, I'll let you guys to it. Have a good time. Hey, there's a bar down the street. There's a bar down the street there. Oh, good places for food, blah, 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 blah. And he walks out the door. We're sitting there going, okay, whatever, dude, what's going on here? Pops back in and he says, hey man, I forgot to tell you, there's another chick who works for Amazon. And I look at him and I'm like, what? And he goes, there's a chick who works for a local Amazon place. She's not from around here. She stays here too. So I'm not sure if she's staying here this weekend, but she's on and off. She stays here. So I don't know if she's here. And I go, what? Oh, okay. And he goes, well, you know, if you guys aren't cool with her staying here with you, I can like take $50 off your rent for the room. And I'm like, I'm just kind of like, duh. I just drove 4 hours to get here. You're here. You told me some fucking story I don't even care about. And now you're telling me some strange ass lady's going to be coming in and out of here with all of our shit here. I'm like, okay, man, whatever. And then he leaves. And then I text him back and I go, no, dude, you know, I'm not too cool with this person. I have no idea who the fuck it is coming in and out of here, right? So as I'm doing that, Jordan and Marion go up the stairs and they go into the bedroom, the queen bed where they're going to stay at. And there's literally women's clothing, like underwear and bras and shit, and like on the bed. Like he had just taken them out of the dryer, threw the king size sheets in the dryer, and threw this chick's clothes on the bed. Well, then Jordan or Marion opens up a fucking closet and it's full of women's clothes. There's fucking pound cake on the fucking, in a container on the ground there, hairstyling shit, curling iron, yeah, what the fuck? So these guys are going, nah, man, we ain't staying here. What the fuck? You know what I mean? And it was so funny because I wasn't even like, I was so just from travel, duh. And then it started making me mad. And I'm just going, hey, no, fuck that. We're out of here, you know? So then my wife contacts a hotel room and pays like double what we paid for the Airbnb. And we get 2 hotel rooms. And the guy says he'll give me a full refund. Well, then he puts the refund. He says he's going to put the refund in. Well, I'm like, I'm going to get this refund sent to me before he even, because it was like 30 minutes and nothing had happened, man, you know? So I was like, what the fuck, man, you know? So like this place was nice, but now we got this lady's clothes and like all her shit there. It was really fucked up. So the guy goes, I can either, give you some money back and, you guys can stay there, or I'll just give you a full refund. And I go, yeah, I'm not comfortable with some rando person coming in here. No, man, I want a full refund. So then he was going to issue me the refund, but then it never went through for a little bit. So I was like, fuck it. I screenshotted every single thing. And I go back to so I screenshotted the little listing on Airbnb. When I went back and checked it again, the guy had switched it. And then he just canceled our reservation. So when you cancel a reservation, they can still charge you for it and take your money. So I was like, starting to get mad. I was like, wait a second, what the fuck? He just like canceled my reservation. So I contacted the dude. I contacted Airbnb and I was like, hey, I want a fucking refund. Then they sent the refund and he okayed it. And when it came back, the receipt said funds refunded, had zeros. So I was like, dude, I was like, I don't mean to accuse you of this, but did you not fucking okay that? Because it's showing me zero refund. And he's like, no, man, I wouldn't do that. I said, but you do know if you cancel my reservation, you get to keep my money. And I was just thinking to myself, like, dude, I will burn your house to the ground. That's like all I thought about. I was like, you're going to make me burn your house down for fucking $200, dude? Like, I was fucking so mad. Oh, but he ended up refunding it. And that was herpetogonosyphilis. Yeah, for sure. So the guy refunded me my shit, but it was one of those situations where, fuck, man, that sucked. I had a okay situation with the first Airbnb. The lady was super cool. She let me shower. And then when I got out of there, right? So she like contacted me and she goes, dude, you're the cleanest guy I've ever seen rent a place from me. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And she goes, all I needed to do was change the sheets and like sweep a little bit. And that was it. The place was immaculate. And I was like, well, you're welcome. You know what I mean? Like, I was just there to drink and fucking sleep. That was it, So the second one was just a nightmare. It was crazy. Yeah, swiper, no swiping. Definitely. Yeah, backpack. Give me a love there. So yeah, that was the thing. But the Acid Bat tribute band was fucking phenomenal. I'll go into the Annihilation Process show. Mike from Lich King, guitar player from Annihilation Process, reached out to me and asked me if he would be able to do a CD release show at the Skyway, and it worked out magnificent. I was able to contact the dude. He was able to wipe the calendar for me and get the date. They put a fantastic. Since I've been doing shows there, like me and Alex, or Alex and myself, have like just tried to do 4 bands. So we weren't, stretching it out and making it, somebody going on at fucking 12 o'clock, closing the bar with a band with nobody there. It's no fun for anyone. And it's a miserable night when you're old and standing on concrete and you're fat. What's beautiful about Skyway is they have lots of places to sit down in Studio B, unlike their big rooms where you're slanted like this on your feet the whole time. Sucks. Annihilation Process put together a great show. One of the bands actually had to drop off Pursuit because of it is 8:30 right now, right? Let me answer her real quick. Yes, I should be able to. I'm on air now. Like how I did that, you guys are totally fucking watching me in real time text my wife that I should be able to pick up my daughter from work, because I'll be able to get through all of this stuff if I keep talking really fast. So yeah, Annihilation Process. The band Pursuit had to drop off because of the snow that was coming. They got hit the weekend before. My wife says hello to everybody. Tell your followers I say hello. So you're not my followers. You're just my friends. You're my homies. you're my supporters. You're my support network of love and guidance and all that stuff. And I appreciate every single one of you fuckers. I went from 12 people to 7, and that's okay. I still love all of you. Thank you. Yeah, so fucking Annihilation Process Pursuit had to drop off because of the bad weather that hit them the weekend before or the night before. They got a shit ton of snow up there in Fargo, Moorhead area, so they weren't able to make it down, which was a drag because Mike really wanted to add those guys because they're all homies. They're all these thrash bands. They're all homies, so they wanted to make it their CD release party. What was crazy about it is that everybody played like a half-hour set, and they didn't bitch about it. Everybody's like, we want to play our half hour, have some beers, hang with our homies, and fucking be done with it. And it was great. It was fantastic. So we ended up starting a little late, which I don't like to do because it drags you way into the evening. Started late, ended fucking early. It was done by like 11:45, 12 o'clock tops, I think. Everybody got paid a couple $100. The fucking door was fantastic. The crowd was great. Everybody got along. No fights. It was fucking everything that I could ever ask for in a show, all in one sitting. Rad Enhancer is a band. I know the guys from their previous bands, but I yes, I think you're right, Brad. So Rad Enhancer is a band that I hadn't had a chance to see live. They're a fantastic thrash band. Jake and Joe are badass dudes. Their vocalist had a old school throwback Devastation fucking Idolatry long sleeve white badass fucking thrash shirt on while he was singing. It was like, oh, it was white and it was awesome. And it was like something from my childhood. So it would like hit me extra hard. It was super fucking cool to see that shirt. I went up to him and was like, dude, that is a badass band. That is a badass shirt. And not many motherfuckers have heard that album. I think it's out of production, but Devastation, Idolatry, that whole album front to back is a top notch, badass, thrash album. Sorry. I'm looking at the chat and going back and forth. They did a great job. Rad Enhancer opened the night off and kicked ass. Deterioration, Minneapolis, grindcore, one of my favorite local bands as well. Jim and Joe are fucking just, they're sweetheart of dudes. Love to sit down with Jim. I talked to Jim for like an hour and a half, just bullshitting about music and tie-dye and shows and fucking just tomfoolery, him being a pimp Mac daddy. And, you know, Jim's just a sweetheart of a dude, and Joe's just awesome. Joe, big bearded Joe. I wanted to feed him White Castle, so he got smashed and threw up all over shit, but he did not. And then Manic Outburst from Detroit, Michigan was after that. Very cool band, man. Riffs galore, man. They really brought it that night. They were fucking fun, and those are Mike's buddies from Detroit. And then Annihilation Process, vocalist, guitar player from Begravement is the vocalist in Annihilation Process. Young guy, seems a little awkward without the guitar in his hand, thrashes out, but I think he is a young dude, and he's going to grow into it and thrash a bit more. I'd like to see a little bit more movement and love out of that dude, but all around great band. The first song that I played opening tonight was the title track of their album Sickening Madness. Go on iTunes or get in touch with them, Annihilation Process online, and buy some of their merch, man. Help them keep going. That's what we need to do, is support our local bands, support the bands you love, because, where did fucking all these other bands get big from? They're fans and they're people that love them. So make sure that you support them. Annihilation Process did a great job. Their CD release party went off without a hitch. I thank them very much. I thank the Skyway. I thank Alex Gorgos, Natalie Quirk, all you people from the music scene. Don't forget, again, I'm gonna wrap this up because I got to go pick up my daughter from work here in a little bit. I want to make sure I have enough time. I appreciate you all for joining me. 6 folks that are watching this right now. Thank you for all the great input. What's up, Wayne P? Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for all of the feedback on the tie-dyes. That's just a labor of love for me. Artistically, one of my favorite things to do at this particular point. I've got a lot of stuff to edit. Again, apologies to Mira Being. They're one of the last bands that I need to... they're the first band I'm going to edit next when I hit my photos again here. Trying to get caught up, guys. Thanks for being patient. Thank you for tolerating my shenanigans tonight and watching the little podcast that I'm doing here. I definitely want to tell you again, next weekend, Saturday, November 26th, 9th annual NYDM Toys for Tots. We got Nevins, Mommy Says No, Volsunga Saga, Tomorrow Brings New Blood, and End Datura Dread. Again, that's an intriguing name. And a fucking Pile of Sticks logo. Love it. $10 cover or $5 with a toy. Do me a favor and do what I do. Just buy like $25 worth of toys from somewhere. Bring them down, donate them, and then pay the double cover, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend about $50 on toys for these kids, and then I'm going to spend another $20 getting into the show, and then hopefully the guys will go and buy a shitload of toys with all that money that they make from this, which we do every year, by the way. So it's a $10 cover if you don't have a toy, $5 with a toy, 21 plus show. Doors are at 6, music is at 7. NYDM folks, please get down there early. Let's do a little meeting. 355 Monroe Street, Northeast, Minneapolis. Again, 9th annual NYDM Toys for Tots, Saturday, November 26th. And make sure you, if you know about Mark Philibrant, friend of ours who just passed away in the music scene from a horrible crash. I think he was 52 or 54 or some shit. He's still young as fuck, man. But guys struck down, man, just got into a band, just another band, hadn't been playing for a long time, got into another band, been playing a ton of shows. Proud of the guy, man. He was doing well and got cut short. December 3rd, I know the flyer that's up right now says December 9th, but December 3rd, there is a memorial at the Eagle's Nest. The Eagle's Nest in Robbinsdale, Broadway Pizza, Eagle's Nest Lounge in Robbinsdale. I believe that's December 3rd. Go over there and say what's up. Pay your respects. 4106 Lakeland Avenue North, Robbinsdale, Saturday, December 3rd at 1 p.m. If you want to get together with the family, say your condolences, say what's up to the people around, that would be the day to do it. If you can't make that one, we'll go to this flyer here. And this is something that guys in the club put together for Mark. Friday, December 9th, Club Underground Memorial and Benefit Show for Mark Philibrant and his family. On this flyer, if you're looking at the podcast here on YouTube, has the QR code. You can scan that and donate to the family. 21 plus $10 at the door. 6 p.m. doors, 7 p.m. music. Defiled Sacrament, Yatuma from Wisconsin, Apothic from here in Minneapolis, Coffin Rights from Minneapolis, and Bludgeon from Minneapolis. Again, check that show out. Spread some love, man. Tell the people that you love them. You know what I'm saying? If you care about people around you, tell them that. Life is very short. Much love to y'all. Thank you for coming and listening to me jabber on. I'm going to try to set up some shows. Holidays are coming. Podcasts, I'm going to try to set some up. If you want to get into a podcast, get in touch with me. If you're watching this, get in touch with me. Let's figure something out. I know the holidays are coming up. I do have a best of 2022 coming out with Artemis Sear real soon. I know he's putting in the time. Artemis is all over with his music choices as well. So don't think it's all going to be metal, because it's not. So that should be a good show. I know that one's going to be in the books for sure. If you're in a band, you want to set something up, let's fucking do it. I'll do it over Zoom. I'll do it in person. I can fit 2 guys in the studio, so myself and 2 guys. So if you want to get something down, come on with it. Let's do this shit. I got some dates. I just got to figure it all out. Do me a favor. before I go here, Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective, 612-353-4755. Show some homies the love. lowbrowsaints@gmail.com. If you got some good ideas, you want some good gift ideas, always give tattoo artwork and gift cards from Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective. Thank you. I'm going to play one more tune off of that, Annihilation Process. Sickening Madness CD that you can find on streaming platforms all over the fucking place, or you can do what I did and just go to iTunes and download it that way. But we're going to play some Forced In-Trail Consumption. This is a hot tune off of this album. I fucking dig this shit. If you like thrash, you'll love you some Annihilation Process. Again, thank you for everybody who listening and tuning in and listening to this nonsense. I appreciate you very much. Get at me, man. Say what's up. You're in a band, get at me. Let's do some shit. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you very much.
Ritual Madness Podcast. Ritual Madness.